Today, I'm going to show you how I painted my 3D printed Joker bust. Now for this build, I skipped over all the early prep, the resin coating and filler primer because, in all honesty, it's a pretty repetitive step. Now that I have everything ready to go, I'm just going to give it a base coat of white, and this is just to kind of set the tone for the colors I want to use. I was going for more of a cartoon theme, so very bright colors. So I started out with this super bright lime green, just to give the hair the base that I was looking for. And I'm going to two-tone this, and so I'm going to go back and forth with the darker green and the lighter green here to kind of give it the tone that I'm after. Now you'll see as I go through most of these type of projects, I hate masking stuff off. Like, I almost never do it, simply because I just think that I can work around it. And truth be told, not all the time is that a great idea, but sometimes I probably save myself maybe 5 or 10 minutes total. Truthfully, a lot of times back taping or taping the areas that I don't want the color on would probably be okay. So as you can see here, I've kind of just added some color and base color into the areas that I'm wanting them, the purple, the green, the light green, and I'm just going to kind of play with the colors and go back and forth here. And now again, you'll see that I don't like masking stuff off, so there's going to be some overspray in areas, but I'll come back and clean that up in the later steps. So now you can see I'm kind of coming back in with the white and just filling out the face area and cleaning up some of the overspray along the neck, the ears, and the forehead, and even some of the overspray that did get on the nose and around the cheek areas. So I'm just going to focus really hard on trying to clean up these areas and take my time and kind of go slowly. Now I have my airbrush pressure set around 25 PSI. That's just where I like to spray. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the only way you can do it. You can always spray higher or lower. For me, it just seems to work around 20 to 25 PSI. Now I'm going to come in here and add some white back into some of these areas because I'm going to highlight it with a really bright green, and I really want this green to stand out. Now this is a Tesseract green, really cool color from Citadel Paints. I'm really starting to like this color a lot. I just recently picked it up, and it just really gives me a really bright green. Now I switch back and forth here quite a bit using my brush and airbrushes and paint pens, all kinds of different stuff. I use a lot of mediums for what I do, and it's just simply because it's whatever happened to pop in my head at the time. So you're seeing me go along here around the neck piece of the jacket, and I actually used a darker purple, not very much darker, but I did mix a little bit of black in with this just to kind of darken it up just a hair, just to go over some of these areas. And then I did end up coming back later and adding another layer, I think off camera, of the same purple over the top, and it just kind of slightly gives a different hue to the two purples. It's really hard to notice in the pictures, but in person it's very obviously different. So you'll see me kind of coming in and touching up some of these areas. I'll come back in with the airbrush and kind of clean up a few areas here and there, but I'm gonna go back in and just kind of highlight some of these, touch up some of the areas that I want it to give a little bit more color to with this Tesseract green. And then I'll kind of go back into working on the face. So you're going to see me grab one of the paint pens here. These are just acrylic paint pens, nothing super fancy or special. I think I got these off the TikTok shop for super cheap. I used kind of a light peach color to kind of go around and accentuate the gums. And you can kind of see me going in here just a little bit and starting to highlight the lips. I just switched over to a very deep red. Again, going for kind of a comic booky dirty vibe, which in my mind is what the Joker looks like. So I just filled out the lips with the acrylic paint pens here. I'm not really focusing too hard on staying in any type of lines or keeping any type of crispness, because in all honesty, the Joker's kind of scattered. And in my opinion, the lips and gums and teeth are gonna look kind of what they look like. Now for me, I like kind of a grungy Joker, so you'll see me kind of go over the teeth a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of move over to the eyes. In a lot of the pictures and reference photos that I looked at, the Joker usually has green eyes. to kind of match some of the green that's in his character. So for me, the way I like to do this is just to black out the eye the way I would like it. I'll add a little bit of a white highlight in the center, and then I'll add some green to that to really make those stand out. And now again, I said I don't like taping stuff off and I don't like masking things, but one thing I do use a lot is aluminum foil. And so what you're seeing me do here is a weathering technique. I just took some black acrylic paint, watered it down about 75% water, 25% paint, mixed it up really good, and then I'm just applying it very heavily along the hair, the face, around the neck, and really getting in some of those deep areas. And then you'll see me here in just a moment. I like to take a bottle of water, spritz it over, and then I'll just take a rag and start wiping things down. Now, this footage is sped up like 10 times speed, so this was actually about a 15-minute process that I did this. You want to let it sit for a few seconds and kind of darken up some of those areas. But again, you can let it sit longer. Sometimes 5 to 10 minutes isn't a bad plan, depending on the grunginess that you're trying to go after. So here we are. This is the finished product. Kind of. I started out leaving it this way. I hit it with a satin clear coat and then realized, you know what? Let's make this thing super shiny. I really want it to stand out. So I decided to give it a coat of 2K automotive grade clear coat, and boy, did it really make it pop. So as you'll see here in the next little clip, I hit this with a 2K automotive grade clear coat out of a paint gun, and man, it went from looking like a hand-painted item to looking like something you would find on the shelf of a retail store. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I love the grunge. I love the grime. I think his teeth came out absolutely fantastic. If you love stuff like this, come see me on the next one. Love ya. Okay, bye.